Good morning, folks. It's 7:20 a.m. today. And today happens to be the 7th day, 7th month, 2025. Yeah, I'm in a very sarky mood. I'm trying to keep my spirits up with so many weather disasters killing people around the world. It's very, very difficult to do. Hey, so I'm going to do my best right now and eh, get a good signal across to you guys before traffic starts, right? I'm showing you what's going to precede this storm and with a lot of EMF that's involved in channeling moisture here. I've got a great example of how they use corridors of chem, as I call it. Like if you make a line of chem here and a line of chem here, how you can move something between it to bring it somewhere else. And I got a great example of that going on in Western Australia today to hopefully explain how I see things. It's a mighty straight line you got there for Cooks. Radar beaming much somewhere? Oh no, that ain't Cooks. That's the Bay of Plenty. Yeah, I got that wrong. I imagine if I draw a straight line, she's gonna go right to a radar station. Something's pulsing here. Anybody seeing a ship out here right where I'm pointing? Or right here, actually, where the V's meeting? Yeah, you got some activity off coast there out in making EMF. But the ones I'm seeing the most, I can actually nail down who did it. We had two big blasts come down. One came down this side and one came down this side here. And one of them, when I look at the beam and I split it to the center of its conicity, which means like it's V shape, it comes right to Blenheim, this line here and there. Now I have some objects here beaming the river of moisture north as it's flowing. It's just going to scoop some of this and bring it down toward here, which is going to cause some action for the French Polynesian islands. I'm just going over this right now as I'm looking at it. You see this big pulse here? What's over here? Big Jorn device. So Jorn's been involved, definitely. And all this is having an effect to control how this comes over. You see how that beam there and that beam here takes a storm right in the center of it. And as we move the beams along here and give it a space to go, you can actually push this right on over and then push that out of the way and at the same time bring something in from over here with the beam that's now over here in place. So they've got this moisture held in a few spots and making EMF ducts, D-U-C-T-S. Now a great example of ducting is going on right over here. If you look over here, you see two very distinct lines of chem, right? And flowing inside of them has the dynamics of different areas. Like this comes in out at sea, and then it has to turn into this moisture here, which sends it back out into the bite, right? Where circulation can then gather it. Right, so this is how they can bring dynamics from the Indian Ocean all the way into the bite under Adelaide. And that's what this is doing right now. Right now. It's a great example of it here. This was happening very early this morning, my time, about 1:30 a.m. Okay, see if we can get a better shot of the channel as it formed. You see that big chem line form right there? Where this is where the water is going to run. It's made like a wall. See it? This here and here. Now there's your corridor for all the chem here to go. And they want some rains out in this area, and that's going to be the causation of that. Geoengineering of that. Chemical catalysts and EMF beams walking hand in hand into the not so promised land. Look at that big shit stained sky here. Sorry, I'm on there full Tourette's mode this morning, so put your headphones on. My forecasts are never for children. I don't want them hearing how we're being killed off by people they vote for. Yeah, and they're supposed to trust. So I feel about it. Call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. I'll wear that as a badge of honor. Yeah, you can have the badge of honor. Yeah, I'll have the badge of honor. Badge of honor. Somebody said that to me once. What's a badge of honor? And it became a thing. You see, you can see the beam right here. Look, there's a pulse right here. It's very, very plain for me to see. Yeah, I'll show you here. I can identify this one. Yeah, let's zoom you up. Where's Mr. Squiggles? I got you ready to go. Oh, we got green today. See that there? Right there and there. That's what I call an eyebrow beam. It's pulsing from this direction here down, which means it's pushing like a plow this moisture here towards Tassie, towards Melbourne, So it streams in towards the mountains here. That's what I see happening right there. I could have zoomed back a bit. It would have helped to show that a little bit more. You see this path through here? It's just what was left open for flow to happen. Corridors of flow are left open, some are shut. And that's how they move weather systems around. And it's very much what they did in Texas. That's how I was able to predict that one. Yeah, I did. I don't like to brag about things that kill people, though. Well, I want to respect that. You see this thin line here in the EMF? You could just pick it out right here where these dots are going to appear. See that right there? That shows me a beam line, a swath. And the other part of the swath is right here. See it right here? Oop, that shows things ain't a glitch. Shows it ain't a glitch right here. Another beam swath. It shows that this here, coming down the coast here, that I showed you right through here, is causing an effect on the cloud. There's a really good shot of that being there. I'll do a squiggles on it. We'll squiggle this one down for you, because I'm trying to explain to some people who do understand EMF very well how these beams do things. See that there? It's one duct. Duct 1, duct 2. And we had 2 ducts. We had one here, and we also had one that comes down like that. That came right from that island that's over here off the coast, New Zealand. See this here? What's in the center? What's aiming? See this inside there? You'll see a square. You'll find there's a HARP device right about here where I'm pointing at, right there. And there's a HARP there. And I suspect that one is what fired the center beam on this one here. And it pulsed its antennas. You can nearly sometimes count 144 more concentrated, higher colored red dots, indicative of higher condensation or precipitable moisture happening. It just happens to be 144 antennas in an array. I've noticed this a while. And this one panned this direction. Like this beam come on first, and then the second beam comes on. So it pushes, and then it pushes. Yeah, push and push it. Bzzt, pushing good. Oh, they said push it. Yeah, they pushing it all right. They push it real good. Yeah, this is even a shot of the second beam right here that came from Blenheim. This one is centered here in Blenheim, and they have a device there. And this one here, yeah, came across earlier, centered right here on that island. And it was guilty as hell. You have some device here. Something is parked right here. Okay? It's beaming that way. It's caused a flow. Potential difference that shut this down. So I know what areas are closed. That's closed. So anything's going to bash has to come under that way, which means this side of Tassie's going to cop it. So I'm going to change colors and show you the Coppington zones. And I already checked out. They're going to get big rains and wets. Right here, we're looking 15 to 20 centimeters of rain coming. Okay, 15 to 7. They're because of all the flow. Highest earthquake risk, again, I'm going to write about where they drew their arrows in Cooks because of the crisscrosses of the beams intersected there. And so I have to raise their quake risk as well as in combination with the electric effects of a day moon. It's just for other people that follow my work or will understand it. There's another beam coming down there, diverting that moisture. So Siam continues to get wet. You got another period of big storms. And coming in about 8 days, and there's going to be a very important forecast for a very dangerous storm that's going to rage through here. And I can't tell where it's going to go yet, but I know it's going to happen because all the pressure says so. And that's how these beams are working. That's how they're manipulating these rivers of moisture using, oh shit, beams. I thought I closed the wrong screen. All right, now we get that off there. And I'm going to run this through with all its timestamps and everything on it so you can see. And I very often could pick up the sudden nucleation of the condensates when the next rad's kicked off. So don't worry, they won't be hiding by turning the radar off from you. There's many a website I can look at this data on that are not owned by Donald Trump's ability to turn the switch and make me not see it. And he's done that recently. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, a lot of history just got deleted again. Like he did last time he was in. You know, you big fans of him or fans of censorship, you're fans of digital currency, you're fans of mRNA vaccines that are somehow going to get safer with no testing hardly. Boy, you got some people love to vote for the devil themselves because it's a lesser evil. Stop voting for evil at all. Period. Yeah, a little rant there. You don't fucking like it. Suck an egg. But these beams are very evident. That you can see how they blow out areas of flow. You see, I'll see if we can map this one. Yes, I can squiggle this pretty easy for you. Are we running even? I haven't even checked. I've been half an hour into shows before I forget to do stuff. Right, let's have a marking now of where do we see flow lines. Okay, we know that is not a flow line, so don't even think about that. The flow line that we saw was a chemtrail that came through here, and it came through here. Right, so this is not an accurate thing to look at right from here. But that right there is a splicing of two images. So from here to here are two different images, okay? So know this. This happened 90 minutes before that one. So you have to keep that in account in your head. So this isn't the best image to use for that. But it clearly shows that beam line there. And these beam lines show very, very well coming through here. You just draw it. Draw the condensation line. Just draw it. And you'll start seeing the flow lines in the clouds. You see this here? Draw it. Take it up in a curve. See right here? This blowed out the condensates through here. What's in the center over here? There's an island. And it's got devices on it. And I don't think I still have it pulled up. No, it ain't going to load while I'm going live, I'll tell you that. So I don't have it pulled up, but I could show you the next reds there. And some other devices I can't determine. Right, I have to say it like that because I'm honest. Right, now let's go back to Squigglies. Yes, Mr. Squiggles. You see that there? That's not an image break, as I call that, where the 90-minute gap is. So you have a beam coming right down here. You have them coming right down here. And in the center of that beam is Blenheim. Right, so Blenheim has fired, and that one there has been fired from above. Come down like this. Because I saw a ship that was out at sea that was doing some stuff right up here that I pointed out to you. See right here? There's a line. You'll see that'll happen right through here. And that's from a ship. So we have a lot of EMF that's decided the fate of New Zealand. So I'm going to close that. And if you find my forecasts of value, getting to the point I'm going to have to sell my equipment to pay my rent. So I would like to continue to do this. If you feel it's of value, please consider a small donation to keep these broadcasts coming. Because until my last breath, I'll give this. And I can't wait for my new job to start. It's supposed to be like August 9th. Yes, Rob D got permanent chef position at a permanent job, where you get a contract. Yeah, none of this agency screw you over on your wages shit. Yeah, this duct here has been very well made. So let's go through some of the forecast part of this. I think this is quite important, actually. There's some big wets coming to this area that have been set up by those beam flows lines induced by geoengineering. EMF beams are considered weather modification. Geoengineering is the entire program. It would be cloud seeding. It would be deployments of SRM-type deployments, cloud brightening deployments. That would be the SRM part, or the albedo modification program, which controls the reflectivity of the upper atmosphere back towards the sun and into space. These are the official things, and we have to go for the legalese that's used. If some of you ain't aware of that, legalese is not English. What you think a word means, it might not mean. So you might want to look into the law dictionaries. Before you understand, you better understand. You know what I mean? So that's all I'll say about that. Yes, it's starting to get into the interesting time for New Zealand now. Well, right on schedule. Now, this is not going to be like the last events you've had. The winds will not be as huge of a factor, right? But it was going to get wet. It's going to get cold. But you got to remember the dynamics of what's turning here, okay? You got a high down here, very high actually. There's a big pressure separation. Just how they can induce it. Well, it's this wintertime. Why you got a 1037 pressure over here? Oh, microwaves heated it. Okay. So it's rotating like that. So it's bringing all these dynamics of the atmosphere over. And this one's bringing those in. The dregs of the chemtrails from us, from their last storm, are coming over. See that big gap right there, that lull? That's going to allow something to move over very fast. Watch this. And this one's going to get breezy. Yeah, this one farms here coming probably Friday night your time. You'll start to feel the impacts of the wind. Yeah, definitely by Friday night, early afternoon Friday, batten down the hatches again. It's going to be a blustery weekend for you guys, New Zealand, and this is when you're going to pick up your totals, right? Over them very, very quickly. These batches of rain are going to come through. Right, so the totals you're facing are like this, and I'm not going to go too far into this because otherwise I'm going to show you another disaster coming. And all of Australia is high at that moment, really. The only body getting wet is down there on that left corner. Yep, Perth corner I always call. From here to here, that's Perth corner. From here to here, where his entire hand, that's the Sydney area. Right over here is the Melbourne area. That's Tassie. You get your full respect. And this is Radelaide area. Covers a lot. I call areas because, well, you know your local names. I don't. Sunshine Coast, this side coast, moonshine up here along the highway because people are mooning cars. You can spell out, nothing is safe on your cheeks and have a cheeky display on the road. I don't know. Yeah, this ain't looking good for you on Saturday either. And then the firewood got wet. Yeah, not good at all. Period of wet is coming. Woo. It's winter. The winter wets are here. And totals wise, I'm not going to be very pleasant to show you this. I'll take you through the 16th. This is a conservative total. I think it's going to be more into the 20 on them. I don't see 30 or anything like that, but I see some fair totals. One of these is going to show the truth. That's getting fair. It's getting fair. Yeah, that's very fair. I'm thinking about 17 centimeters for the Nelson areas, which is going to cause some flash flooding. But it's not the same type winds that you experienced last time. I have to say that. So calm your farms. This is that event, right? It's not the super batch. It's going to get blustery on that event, actually, but this one here to come in first is not as bad. It's not. It doesn't have the same circulation. It doesn't have the same rush of hot toward cold. Remember that. Hot toward cold. Yeah, you write that down. That's physics. That's just how that works. It's flow and density. That's all. What's more dense? Hot or cold? Hot. And density flows positive toward negative. Oh, density and flow. Now, right around this time, a little bit of blast for Sedona over here. Yeah, to zip on over to the Radelaide area. You get a bit of windiness is coming. See that there? Okay, so I love to say these words. Port Lincoln, a surf is up on Wednesday. Yep. It might even be earlier than that, actually. It might be late Tuesday afternoon. Surf's up. Tassie, I hate to be you some days, and this is one of them coming. Watch this wall of wind. Bam! That's when they let the flow. So the beams get let go on Cook Strait coming Wednesday, so we can have flow. And that's the day you don't want to make the journey. Hey, don't be going over on your boat that day. Oh my God. Or, well, Gilligan, the skipper too. A 3-hour tour. Oh my, I did like that show. Yeah, we're very clever how they always had new clothes. Wind gusts, yes. There's going to be a problem inland coming over the middle of the week, Thursday, overnight hours. So watch your travels. See these gusts through here? It's just not. This is very, very dangerous time coming between Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're going to be traveling, watch that route. Some of the safest routes are through here. For a friend of mine, it's going on a desert route. You see where I'm pointing right here? That's you to Uluru. This is your safest route. I know where you're at. Don't go cutting straight across right now. You're going to want to go out of your way. From where you're going, go north of Charlieville and hit this route through here. You should be just fine for the next week. Okay? That's for you, my friend. Okay, but gusts inland here is going to whip up a lot of dust, so I'm expecting some breathing issues coming on Thursday and Friday that are not going to be chemtrail related. They'll be related to the wind. Yeah, and it's going to send a lot of wind over the cities over here to exacerbate the bad breathing that's going on. Okay, I showed you that. I have yet to show you this. Now, let's get and look at some of the chemtrails. I showed you your forecast. I showed you the sat view pretty much. I haven't really done it in motion yet. You want to see a bunch of chem streaming over a country? Look at New Zealand here. Look at this shit. And this image is from very late last night, my time. It's 5:20 in the morning this time. Look at the boom boom plumes out here. Boom 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 boom. The star of, I don't even know what that is. It looks like some kind of a coat of arms with a fucking skeleton head in the center of it. That's a geosculpted thing. See how square this is down here? That's geoengineered, folks. And you don't believe in geoengineering, it doesn't care. It's just a thing. That's a good thing I believe in it, because it could kill you anyhow. Now, I know it could kill me. Like somebody dropped figure eights over here off the beak of the key. Will you look at this boom boom plumes here? These are chem bombs. You over there worry about them bombing another country and a flood that already happened in Texas while you've been carpet bombed. You've been attacked by the New World Order, which is just the same old order, rebranded. Look at this thing curved like a big mustache with a big plasma square in the end. Don't you tell me this is a natural cloud, or that one. That looked like one of those share button things you see on a dang. Look at that. It's like a keyhole, 3 depths to the center. That's chem bomb deployment. There's a vessel there. Either it's in the sky or it's on the low deck, either one or the other. Big square over that island there, too. See it? EMF closed this straight down to passage, and it brings all the flow right through here. There's nowhere else for it to go. Does snow always fall in straight lines? Or is that an EMF cloud? Only you can decide. Only you can make up your own mind about shit. You know, when television lies and you use it as fact, that makes you, by proxy, a liar. You see this square cloud right here? Do I need to map that out? Do you actually need me to break out any architectural tools to determine the geometries going on here? That it is not a swirling, circular, chaotic storm, like they say there's this climate chaos, but yet this is very organized chaos, I gotta say. And it's very predictable chaos. Very, very, very predictable, the geoengineering in these images that I just showed. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. You look at a guy in a sombrero over here. Yeah, sure, we always have the all seeing eye in the sky. Look at that. You tell me that ain't geoengineering, I tell you, you have some things to learn. The things to learn so you'll be able to look at this guy and tell your own weather. That you'll be able to know whether it's safe to go outside today because the air is toxic because somebody decided to block the sun. Somebody decided things out here don't need sunlight, phytoplankton, things like this, or that we don't need healthy trees. And the cloud should look like a scrotum cut off right here. Whammo! Emasculated earth. That means mother's mad. Yeah, this is disgusting. That's a man-made cloud. It looks like something took a shit. Definitely a big case of skyurea here. Yeah, sure. Parentheses in the sky. Something's deploying something from here. It becomes obvious, actually. If you can make a straight line from that to that, just start crushing the straight lines, and you'll find where the center point is in deployment. It's just basic triangulation, where you triangulate things. And right now, it don't take me long to add up what triangulation this is. This is just a terribly toxic setup for a beautiful nation. It has turned this into the land of the long, endless chemtrail. And we must say no to geoengineering. We must say no to the Paris Agreement. Our entire planet needs us to stop being such selfish entities and act like humane beings. Big love, humane beings. Peace. Stay safe. You have been warned.